perhaps without brake pedals.
Oh, that's
proposing
great.
a rule allowing robo-taxis to operate without brake pedals, but that proposal is still pending. More of these stories.
Oh, that'll
townhall.com.
That'll work. That'll go over real well. Taxis without brake pedals and wheels. Oh yeah. That's ridiculous.
University Health. I'm Chris Keach reporting for WVBF News. This Saturday, the Pan Mass Challenge will be passing through the town of Rehoboth. 6,000 cyclists are expected to arrive between 8 a.m.
Lakeville.
and 12:30 p.m.
I think,
Motorists
too.
are advised to be aware
There's a story
of
about
large
that.
numbers of riders in the central part of town at this time. Riders also expected to pass through Rentham, Lakeville, and Wareham on Saturday.
Yeah.
Police will be managing traffic at various intersections along the Pan Mass bike route. Morton Hospital is hosting an in-person hiring event next Thursday, August 6th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the hospital's main campus. That's located at 88 Washington Street in Taunton. The event offers meet and greet opportunities, as well as on-the-spot interviews for a variety of clinical and support positions. And you want to find out more, you can visit mortonhospital.org and brownhealth.org/events. By the way, walk-ins to next week's event are also welcomed. In sports, Major League Baseball column, the Cardiac Kids, Wilyer Abreu and Wilson Contreras homered on back-to-back pitches in the eighth inning last night. The Boston Red Sox rallied to beat the Athletics 5-4 out in California. The Sox have had to come from behind in 8 of their last 12 wins. The Red Sox are out in Dodger Town in Los Angeles. They'll play the Dodgers tonight, 10:10 p.m. So get a nap early, okay? Minor League Baseball, the Worcester Red Sox.
I hate the West Coast trips because the games are like
last night at Harvard Park.
freaking ungodly hours.
Got a friend,
I
by the way,
absolutely
who goes
hate
and sees
that.
games down there. The teams play again in Virginia this evening, 6:35 p.m. Frontier League, the Brockton Rocks.
Norfolk.
They
Norfolk.
split a make good doubleheader
It's
with the
Norfolk.
Washington Wild Things at Campanelli Stadium yesterday.
They say it's Norfolk.
They're going to be up in Canada at Ottawa Stadium
like
to play the
Newark,
Titans
Newark.
tonight, 6:45 p.m. Now let's do the forecast as we head into the weekend from the National Weather Service. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, increasing clouds and highs in the low 80s. Tonight, patchy fog, partly cloudy, a low around 61. Saturday, increasing clouds, highs in the mid 80s. Mostly cloudy Saturday night, a low around 66. And Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 83. Headlines, presented by Morton Hospital in Taunton. They're now part of Brown University Health. And don't forget their in-person hiring event next Thursday, August 6th, from 10 to 4 p.m.
The future is bright at Morton Hospital, now proudly part of Brown University Health.
Okay, you are yellow, Mike.
Chapter
That
for
up.
the community.
Go.
Is
Perfect.
to truly thrive. As a part of Brown University Health, Morton can continue to provide the trusted care you depend on, supported by science that lights the way. Still local, now limitless. Morton Hospital is now part of Brown University Health.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. It's time for Hometown Talk on AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station. Our phone lines are now open at 508-822-1106.
It's funny we're in those. We didn't have a phone call. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. And good morning, everybody. And as the Norfolk Tides announcers say, it's the Norfolk Tides. Yeah, it's the Norfolk Tides and the Worcester Red Sox this week, the Woo Sox. Very fun series. Worcester's been doing really well in that series, by the way. They've been doing great. They've been doing great the last couple of weeks. They had a great series. I think they swept Jacksonville, which is awesome. So now going to Norfolk and beating the Tides quite a bit, and that's the AAA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles, by the way. It's very, very good. They're heating up at the right time, which you love to see if you're a fan of minor league baseball and the Worcester Red Sox. You love to see it because the team is really good. Franklin Arias is on the team now, which is great. Please do not trade him. I've seen so many rumors about Franklin Arias being added to trade packages for potential other players out there. Unless that player coming back to the Red Sox is Francisco Lindor, do not trade Franklin Arias. You hear me, Sam Kennedy and Craig Breslow? Do not trade Franklin Arias. Okay, glad we got that situated there. Good morning, Don. How are you doing today?
That's a mouthful. Oh my god. Oh my god,
I had to say it.
I guess so.
Had to say it.
Whatever. Don't do it.
I hate the trade deadline. There's so many rumors out there, and it irritates me.
So when is the trade deadline?
Trade deadline is Monday.
So anybody powers to be on the trading and dish trading or whatever you want to call it, have a few days to stew on it, right?
Either they're going to
want to do.
Yeah, either they're going to be buyers or they're going to be sellers. The Mets, they seem like they're going to be sellers, unfortunately, for our friend over there in New Jersey there, who was a Mets fan. Yeah, they're going to be sellers. Unfortunately,
he's not a Mets fan. His in-laws are a Mets fan, so he's a Mets fan.
Thank you.
Mandatory Mets fan, and
yeah,
I'll pack your bag. I'm kicking you out.
Yeah, they're sellers. They're going to be sellers. They've already sold, traded a pitcher away. They're going to trade some other people away too, as well. Francisco Lindor apparently is on the chopping block. Maybe. Mets haven't done well. That's unfortunate. They have a lot of good players on that team, and to be like 15, 20 games under 500 or whatever they are, that's pretty bad. Anyway, enough of the MLB. I could care less right now.
I don't sound like you care less.
Well, other than the trade deadline, I'm a little irritated by the rumors out there with the trade deadline of Franklin Arias. I've seen some stuff like.
I thought the coffee was making you shaky, not
absolutely
the deadline room. The trade.
Absolutely, head scratching. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna sit and watch games that are gonna start at 10 p.m. at night. I do not like the West Coast trips for the Red Sox because the games are in ungodly hours. Who's gonna stay up till 1:30 in the morning to watch the Red Sox?
More than you think.
Yeah, sure, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Not me.
Well, they're doing good. They're doing better. So.
They are doing better. I mean, even if they were like the best team in the league, I would not. I value my sleep. Anyway, the Red Sox have a great, interesting series against the Dodgers, and then I believe they're back home after a day off on Monday. They're back home to take on Chicago. So it's going to be a fun series. Not the Cubs, the other one, the White Sox. The worst one. That's not really accurate anymore. I would say because the White Sox are actually even better. But yeah, so that's what's coming up for the Red Sox. Trade deadline's always a kind of a stressful time. But anyway, we have Don here with us, joining us for the entire 2 hours. Good morning, Don. How are you? Got a great show planned.
Yeah, you started out pretty chipper about the Red Sox. So I'm not chipper. I'm not staying up. Don't trade. I'm not doing this. I ain't doing that.
Just don't.
I'm not staying up.
Yeah.
Don't trade them.
Just don't trade some of our big prospects. That's all I ask.
You're barking out a lot of orders over
You
here.
can you can trade whoever else you want. I don't care. Just don't trade Franklin Arias. That's all I'm asking the Red Sox to do here. Because I mean, I know that they're going to trade at least a couple of big players. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, you might not like to hear this, but I think Jarren Duran is on the trade block. I really do. This is starting to turn into a Rafael Devers situation, unfortunately, with Jarren Duran. There's been too many things in the news about him. Arguing with fans, yelling at players, kind of just being a pain a little bit in the locker room.
Swell guy, right?
He's a nice guy. I mean, but again, I don't know.
That's more reason to keep him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think he's on the trade block. I really do. I really don't want to say that, but knowing what has happened in the past with Rafael Devers, who absolutely should have been traded. Sorry, but absolutely should have been traded. He was arguing back at coaches about his positions in the field. Yeah, definitely should have been traded. Absolutely 100%. That was a good move from the Red Sox. I know some people may not agree with me, but I really do think that was a good move. And it just, I don't know, I'm starting to get those vibes with Jarren Duran. Unless Chad Tracy can sit him down and tell him, stop, please. Then I feel like Jarren Duran might be traded. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday. Anyway, or maybe even this weekend. Who knows? We still got today, this weekend, and Monday here before the trade deadline. I believe the trade deadline's at 4 o'clock or whatever it is. All right. Anyway, moving along past our sports segment. That was a little sports segment there for today. I had to get some thoughts out of my head with the sports. Let's go over the weather. Really weird couple of days. This past couple of days, it's been raining quite a bit. And the thing I learned is, if it rains, Amazon will delay your package a little bit. So we were supposed to get a smart TV. We did get that smart TV yesterday. But the rain, I think it was the rain. Maybe it wasn't,
I think it was.
but it could have been.
Connecticut got walloped.
Absolutely.
Worse than we did.
So we were supposed to get it Tuesday, but we got, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. We were supposed to get it Wednesday. Yes. We got it Thursday night. Yesterday evening. Great TV, by the way. 40-inch Roku TV. Can't wait to set it up. Can't wait to get rolling with it early next week. It's gonna be great. Save me a lot of money. Save the household a lot of money with that. So that's gonna be great. The TV that we had for was it 15 years or something like that? Quite a long time. Decided it didn't want to turn on again and work. it just went. Don't you just hate that, Don? You try to turn on the TV and then it was working 2 hours ago, and then you try to turn it on again and it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, 15 years. I definitely got our money's worth out of that.
Absolutely.
A long time. I mean, we got to we got to step up to a smart TV, and what Chris was saying, it's all apps.
Yes.
That's all it is. Channels are apps now.
Well, they do have a live TV option. They do have that. But yeah, it is. It's all apps. It's gonna be a lot more entertaining to watch, honestly.
Well, I'm dying for MeTV because at 5:30 I'm planting my button for Emergency. I love that show. Emergency.
Yep. For me, as I mentioned with Chris, it's Columbo and it's Matlock. For me, Columbo and Matlock. I think it's yin and yang with those two shows. For some reason, I love those two shows. Columbo, a little bit more, fun, and it gets serious at times. Columbo, Matlock, you get the seriousness a little bit more with Matlock. It's the same kind of shows a little bit. The only difference is Columbo actually is in the field, investigating all these crimes that happen, murders that happen, and things like that. Well, Matlock, he's the defense lawyer, so it shows more of the courtroom and that side of things. That's why I just think those two shows, just yin and yang. I don't know, Don. What are your thoughts about those?
Well, Columbo. I mean, you watch some of the Columbos from the early '70s. You have everyone in it. You had Leonard Nimoy. You had William Shatner. You had everybody. Anybody who's everybody playing. And right when they think they get away, by the way,
Yeah.
I got another question.
One more thing.
Yeah, one more thing. They just drive. Columbo just drives these people insane.
Yeah.
They just drive them insane, and he hasn't really changed. Even all these years, it's like the consistency of how the show is pretty much, you can count on it. And I mean, when you have shows and they have to try to change it and stuff like that, sometimes that's the worst thing for a show. They change it a little bit, but a lot of people, we're going to try. It's like new Coke, It's just, it's terrible. I mean, goes back to the old Coke. They did that with a couple of shows that I liked, and I stopped watching them because they changed them. We're going to do it this way. We're going to do it this way, and it takes the feeling of it all away. I think, in my opinion.
I was surprised about when they announced that Matlock was coming back, and
with Kathy Bates.
And Kathy Bates does a great job. I've seen some clips. She does a great job. Okay.
Oh, no, movies, you mean?
No, with Matlock.
Okay.
Matlock's been running for several seasons now.
With her,
yes. Right. I've seen some clips of the show. It's good. It's good. But I was surprised. Nothing against Kathy Bates here, but I was surprised that they didn't announce Linda Pearl would be doing it. Because you remember, in the original series, Linda Pearl played Matlock's daughter in the show.
Yeah, but they gotta get a name. They gotta get a name that's,
it's for a major network too. It's for CBS.
Everyone knew Andy Griffith. So Andy Griffith coming in. They came in the '80s. Obviously, everyone knows he's been in movies and shows, variety shows over the years. And obviously, everyone knows him from the Andy Griffith Show. There's a show that people don't really know that I fell in love with. It was one season. I think it was maybe 15 episodes, maybe. It was called Salvage One.
Yep.
Okay. And it came out in 1979, and it was about a junkman who wanted to build a rocket ship and go up to and scrap all the stuff on the moon that the astronauts left in 1969.
Yep.
And it was kind of a quirky little, but you had it didn't make it in 14 episodes, but I loved every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
Salvage One was going to save NASA and one, because they didn't have any rockets. So who do you call? You call Andy Griffith and Salvage One. Oh, we need your help. I always like that. I always like the kind of the underdog kind of rescue situation. And then that series and those 14 short episodes, I got a lot of that, and I'm surprised it didn't stick around.
Yeah, so she played Matlock's daughter for one season. So I guess I understand why that didn't end up happening. Anyway, but I think it would have been cool. But anyway,
but you
just kind of the continuation thing.
You need a name like Kathy Bates.
Oh yeah, and
no one knows who this Linda Pearl lady is. Nobody is.
Well, people who watch The Office.
Yeah, but
and people who watch some of the movies that she's in.
So, have you watched any of the new episodes of Matlock with Kathy Bates?
I've watched, and as I mentioned, I've watched clips. She does a very good job. I really do like it. She does a really good job. I sit there and watch.
You got to give it a shake.
I got to give it a shake. I got to sit there and watch.
I love Kathy Bates.
I know I do too. I'm not saying they made the wrong decision. I'm just saying, was Linda Pearl in consideration?
Obviously not.
Obviously not. just as a continuation thing, as a
Yeah.
continuating thing. Because
No.
again, like I said,
Well-
she played Matlock's daughter in the original show.
Well, how I mean,
So-
do you do your homework? How long has Matlock been on with Andy Griffith? So-
Matlock was on with Andy Griffith from 1 second here, 1986 to 1992,
Okay.
and he died. What was it? 2012. He died, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 2012.
Okay.
So what was it? 92. It ended when he was when it was 1992. So he died in, let me just go quick, 2012. So he was 66 when it ended. Okay, so about 8 years or so, 7 years. So 59 when it started. 59.
Okay.
So, I mean, outside of the Andy Griffith show, I actually think Matlock is better than Andy Griffith show. I know I'm gonna get some people who are gonna call in angrily at me.
No, it's different though. It's different. I mean, you're talking 19. What did they start that? 1961.
Yeah,
1960. Was it 66 maybe?
I like Matlock better.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate Andy Griffith show. Obviously, I think Andy Griffith show is awesome.
Yeah.
But Matlock, I love it.
But
It's addicting to watch. You watch one episode, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the clock and like, oh, geez, 5 or 6 hours have passed, and I've watched like 7 episodes.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I mean, whatever. I mean, you're talking about Matlock, and the whole audience is listening here. Everyone listening to us.
Mhm.
But don't waste your time with Matlock. Just watch Rockler Files.
Robert.
Okay.
I've watched
All
some
right.
episodes. It's good. It's good. I like Matlock. Sorry, I like Matlock and Columbo
I
better.
didn't know we were going to get a half hour to Matlock, but I guess who knows, right?
It's fun to tune into this show because you never know what me or the guests or me and Dawn are going to get into when Dawn is here on this show. Tune in because you don't know. You really don't know. Give us a call, 508-822-1106. Let us know what your favorite show was when you grew up, or what your favorite show is now. Do you have memories of Matlock? Do you have memories of Columbo? Give us a call, 508-822-1106. We'd love to hear about that.
You know what I think's fun too?
I think we're gonna move on.
There's one other thing.
Yep.
When you look at these old shows, you say go from 1968 to 1978, all right,
Mhm.
a 10-year period there.
Yeah.
The villains, the bad guys, the co-host who's playing, you're playing with, starring.
Yeah.
It's just fun to see a lot of actors coming up through the ranks. And those were your actors who turned into movie sets and stuff,
Yeah.
So I mean, they said that Wolfman Jack was never really seen until George Lucas put out American Graffiti. He was down in Mexico running his radio show, and no one really knew who this guy was. And then he was on American Graffiti, and Harrison Ford was it Ron Howard on American Graffiti too? Yeah.
Mm.
That was a really important movie to start out. So I mean, and I got to meet Wolfman Jack too, which was cool.
You know who absolutely was amazing first villain or criminal, I would say, for Columbo was Gene Barry. That was perfect casting for that first, made for TV film, Prescription Murder. That was so good. That was a great casting. Gene Barry is awesome. Gene Barry, of course, was Bat Masterson, which is awesome. Bat Masterson's awesome. I've seen several episodes of that. So good. But yeah, Gene Barry is great. He was great in that. I
Yeah.
think he came back to do more episodes of Columbo. I'm not 100% sure. But they had another actor in there who was in several of the early episodes. And I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head right now. I'll look that up during the commercial
Well,
break.
I mean, if you looked at every episode of Columbo, I bet not every episode, but I bet most of them will have some, people like William Shatner
Yeah.
and Leonard Nimoy are both in Columbo at some points. And you've had, maybe even
Johnny
Carl-
Cash was.
Yeah, maybe Kyle Malden too. Who knows?
Mhm.
And any of those actors.
Yeah, Johnny Cash. Check out that episode. That's a really good episode too.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. It's 9:30. When we come back from our news break, I will tell you about the actor I was thinking of. I don't have it on the top of my head right now. I gotta look it up. I will tell you about the actor who I was thinking of, and then we'll move on to something else. I promise. We won't spend the whole first hour talking about Columbo and Bat Masterson and Matlock
And Rockford Five.
and Rockford Files. But give us a call. Any of those shows. What were your favorites? 508-822-1106. We'll be right back. The stuff we get into, man. I love it. That was a good half hour.
We'll talk about
Breaking news this hour from town.
Yeah,
hall.
we'll do that.
Ahmed Shamath.
Absolutely.
Socialist government policies and a Spanish Supreme Court ruling have thrown open the migration floodgates in Spain.
Spain has deployed the military to Ceuta after thousands of people breached the border with Morocco. At least 9 people have died. A member of Spain's civil guards officers says it's absolute chaos. Video footage shows crowds of people, mainly Moroccans, in the water, many with inflatables at a local beach, walking onto land. A human rights official says the Tarajal border was opened under unusual circumstances and people crossed. This man, Salah, crossed the border
We don't have a good life in Morocco. We don't have a good medicine.
to reach Ceuta, located on the northern African coast. Many migrants often swim from Morocco.
Correspondent Ed Donahue says the migrant death toll is now up to 34. President Trump once again urging Europe to reverse course or risk its own demise. No comment yet from Israel on a proposal aimed at bringing peace to Gaza. The president's International Board of Peace unveiling a plan for Hamas to lay down its arms and Israel to pull back its troops. President Trump focusing on highway safety following a rash of deadly or serious injury accidents.
President Trump announced the Freedom Haulers Initiative, focused on commercial driver's license and highway safety.
We've already removed more than 24,000 non-English speakers from behind the wheel. We've also forced states to cancel more than 28,000 commercial driver's licenses. Today, we're also taking action to replace these unqualified migrant truck drivers with American veterans.
Officials say the goal is to raise safety standards on American highways and prioritize qualified drivers. Willie Nelson, Los Angeles.
Ahead of this morning's opening bell on Wall Street, stock futures higher. The Dow futures are up 160 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 221 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
110. What happens when citizens begin to fear the very agencies created to protect them? This weekend, the America 250 film series presents Police State. Dinesh D'Souza examines intelligence, law enforcement, and the warning signs of government power turned inward. Watch Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Salem News Channel.
Some survivors of the Southwest Japan earthquake have taken to sleeping in their cars as electricity and water are scarce.
Hirokazu Sato, a father of three, lost his home after the magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit Kumamoto Prefecture on Tuesday. He was worried his one-year-old baby will disturb other people in the evacuation center. Like many others, Sato and his family decided to live in their car for the time being. Nearly 19,000 homes were still without electricity. Meanwhile, concerns were growing about illness, including from the sweltering heat. More than 9,000 people were staying in the roughly 400 shelters where power sources were being added to provide air conditioning. I'm Karen Shamas.
Cooler temperatures and rising humidity levels helping firefighters control a massive wildfire that's still burning in southwestern France. News and analysis, townhall.com. Changes on the way at Scouting America.
At the National Jamboree, one of Scouting's biggest events, dedicated spaces for gay young people, women, and scouts of color have been eliminated. Some scouts who had planned to attend in West Virginia backed out. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth threatened to end the Pentagon's century-old partnership with Scouting America if it did not make changes, including refocusing away from diversity initiatives. A Scouting America spokesperson said the organization remains fully committed to welcoming and serving all youth, but did not address questions about the changes to the Jamboree. I'm Ed Donahue.
Amazon planning to boost spending on tech, mostly artificial intelligence, by an additional 10%. This after the tech and e-commerce giant delivered strong profits and net sales during the fiscal second quarter, helped by surging growth in its prominent cloud computing unit. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, Ray, restaurant. When it comes to great food and in-house operations, you got it down to a science.
I figured out who I was trying to talk about. It's Robert Culp. Robert Culp. He was in a couple of episodes of Columbo early on. Always played this just unhinged, psychotic criminal murderer. Always very good. No, that's not what I want. 33. Thank you.
So where does come Shannon?
We're going to do that as soon as I talk about this, and then we'll do that. We'll go into that. And then, finish up with a local story, and that'll be the end of the first day. This just kind of blows by sometimes when you're having
We keep an eye out for Barry too, right? I mean, he's not gonna be half hour early, but
Need to leave the door open anyway. It's kind of hot here.
yeah, it is hard.
10 seconds. Okay, we are back. 9:37 a.m. And the person I was thinking of, who was in those first couple of early episodes of Columbo, I think he was in like 2 of the earlier ones, Robert Culp. Robert Culp, great actor. Absolutely great actor, especially in Columbo. The episodes he was in, all the episodes he was in, he played this just psychotic murderer. And it was great. It was great to watch. He did a really good job, Robert Culp. He actually, surprisingly, I didn't know this. I don't really watch this show too much. But he was in Everybody Loves Raymond as Warren Whalen.
Oh.
I did not know that.
Oh.
I don't watch Everybody Loves Raymond
Well,
that much.
Columbo always has that car, that his vehicle is always a junk box or whatever. And he's had the same. I think in every episode he had the same. They gave him the same vehicle, I
I think
believe.
so. Yeah, I think he had.
Was
that
it like
vehicle
a
for
Rambler or something? I don't
a
know.
lot of the series. I don't know if he had it for the entire series, but he had it for. I mean, that series went on for a very long time.
Well, it stopped and then came back, right?
Yes, that was on for a long, long time. That ended.
And then there was Mrs. Columbo with Kate Mulgrew. I'm not sure how much traction. I never really watched an episode, but Kate Mulgrew went on to Star Trek Voyages as Captain Janeway, and she did really good.
So 1971, the series at least, 1971 to 1998. But there was some movies in there, so 1968.
That was the movie.
So 30 years. And then it kind of kept going as well to January of 2003. Kind of probably syndicated there. Wow.
Yeah, talk about a
long
house franchise, huh?
A long time. And Peter Falk, I mean, yeah, he did it up till 2003, and then he didn't. I don't know if he did too much after that. He died, and I believe it was 2011 that he died.
Well, he always talks about his wife in his episodes, and you never see his wife.
Exactly.
And then there's a show called Miss Columbo, which I don't think you see Columbo in any of them. Maybe I haven't watched them. I'm not 100% sure. That might be, but
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway, all right, Don, you wanted to get into a topic here. I believe we talked about before, but I have some new thoughts on this, and you're you have some strong feelings about this. So I'll just give you the floor here.
And it's not because I'm cheap.
Yeah,
I'm not cheap. Okay, I'm not a cheapskate. Okay. Tip shaming. It's out of control, in my opinion. It's absolutely out of control.
Mm-hmm.
My mother worked in the restaurant industry for 40 years, waiting tables, bartending, and stuff like that. So she'd turn over on her grave, see what's going on now, okay? So you go to a restaurant, you sit down, someone does service, good service, bad service, mediocre service, you tip accordingly. All right, 15 to 25% is the normal. Some people tip heavy at 30. But you go anywhere now, to a coffee shop, ice cream place, sub shop, and there's always an option for you to hit to give percentage on a pickup. Meaning, say you bought subs for the whole family, and the bill's 60, so they hand you the food, and you got to give them a 20% tip on them handing you food. I feel that's not fair to the server who worked hard to earn that, to wow me and do a service and spend a little time. Just handing me a bag. Okay, coffee shops now. Okay, not all of them have it, but they're starting to have them. And there's one coffee shop in Halifax that they, you use a card and they stick this thing out, and they're like, I'm like, what's this? Oh, you got to answer that question. I was like, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. Did anyone forget about COVID? I mean, you got a little, not a cash register, it's a little pinpoint card that you're supposed to, no trip, 10%, 27%, whatever. How many people are touching that? I mean, handing a card to an employee to swipe the card and hand it, that's fine. But how many people are driving through the car wash with filthy hands? I'm assuming the associate in the coffee shop washes his hand every once in a while. He's not, he's working with coffee, food prep. I mean, he's not working. He's not working. He's not a plumber. He just came from a job and didn't wash his hands. You know what I mean? They wash their hands. They handle the cards. You hand me something, and you want me to touch it? I'm like, I won't touch it. I'm not touching the keypad. I'm not doing it. Oh, you got to answer the question. I mean, buying coffee. I got to answer questions. It's just, I don't know. I mean, if I have $1 and change or whatever, yeah, here you go. Actually, we got coffee this morning. 4 quarters. Here you go. Thank you. Right?
Yeah.
That particular coffee shop didn't have that. Okay, but they're all starting to come. Ice cream places have got it. Sub shops have it. I'm not sure if anyone's listening who is in that business, and tell me why I should be.
Buying coffee should not be a test. You shouldn't be answering questions to buy coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't even see it. You can't even see it.
Exactly.
The sun is like now the sun is
That's
on
another
the
problem
keypad,
too.
and now you got to hit like 30%. Maybe if it's gonna say anything, $1.35, $1,
The
$2, $5.
the brightness on these things are terrible. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's just because of the equipment they buy or if it's on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't.
I
know.
saw something at an ice cream place where someone was in front of me, right? He was there. You got to buy a lot of ice cream for a lot of people. Thought he had like $73.
Wow.
And then he announced it to everybody because he didn't want to look like he was cheap. He said, "Oh, look at this, 30%." He said it. I didn't. He told everybody in line. I mean, I didn't see I don't look over people's shoulder. I don't, whatever their business. But he announced it like he was Mr. He was Guy Smiley here. 30% tip.
Okay.
All right. Okay, great.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
All right.
Don't have to announce it to the world.
I don't know. Are you killing it with the tips and plus whatever they're getting per hour? Employees? Are the employees getting it? I'm sure they are. I'm sure if you're working there, you're gonna want to know what the tip jar, what the electronic tip jar looks like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Am I cheap? Call.
Give us a call.
I don't know if I'm cheap or not.
508-822-1106.
I guess I'm the last holdout between yourself, my brother, and my nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the last one. And they started down the Cape with that coffee shop. Some coffee shops do it, some don't. And I find, especially with people I know who buy a lot of coffee, is getting aggravated, I just avoid those coffee shops.
Yeah.
They just drive by them. See, they got to stick that thing in, and it's going to make me look silly. And then 9 times out of 10, and I hate to say it, the person you give a tip to kind of gives you this look. Now they're not smiling.
That's another thing too. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Really? I've seen it too.
It's got to be a better way. I don't mind tipping, but it's got to be a better way than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just since COVID and pressing that keypad, everyone going through pressing that keypad. The mechanic who just was working on a transmission, didn't wash his hands, going through the drive-through. Anybody going through the drive-through doesn't have time to wash their hands. 9 times out of 10, their hands are not clean. So I don't know. You don't know. And then you're touching it, and then you're sticking munchkins in your face after that, after touching it. Okay, here you go. Here's 30%. 30% on $8, whatever it is, right? I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. It aggravates me. I avoid those stores that have them now. So I'm not sure. Sometimes I forget and I pull in. Oh yeah, that's right. But I mean, you pull in enough time.
There's gonna be more stores that do this too, I think.
Yeah, but then people are gonna avoid the stores. People are gonna stop now making coffee at home, like I should be doing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a slave to take out coffee. I know. I'll be the first one to admit it. It might as well be a toll booth.
Me too.
It might as well be a $7 toll booth. Every time we drive to work, we go by to the coffee shop, go for the drive-through, and we pay $8. Well, it was 9. It was 7 something, and I gave $1 tip, so $9 for two iced coffees.
The iced coffee toll booth, yes.
Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So
I can just see sales dropping.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can see sales dropping because if it aggravates me to the point where now they're kind of embarrassing you, because now you got to deal with. I'm not saying you're dealing with an attitude now, but you're not dealing with somebody. You pull in, hey, tip them, and
another thing I hate too is another thing I hate too is the AI integration that you're now seeing in a lot of these drive-throughs. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, one fast food company has it.
Fast food company, another is testing it.
And the employees say this never, don't worry about it, this never works. You got employees telling you over the loudspeaker, it doesn't work.
Yep.
And you sit there. I remember calling it was like a medical place that rents beds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And an AI came on, I just hung up. And then I got a call back. Yeah. I said, I said, I'm not dealing with the AI.
We've dealt with it on the phone. We've dealt with it on the phone too. Yeah.
Done.
We've dealt with it on the phone as well with a certain hotel.
That was real though. I thought that was,
That
but
was weird.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and you can figure out how to trip it up. Where they won't start repeating itself, then you know it's not a human.
Uh-huh.
Because everyone talks differently about hotels. It's a room, lodging. Everyone has different lingos and their
Yeah.
voices, like soda pop and Coke and Pepsi, soda pop, tonic. It's just even people talking. And that's enough because people just have their own lingos and how they talk as far as goods and services, or even, trying to get accommodations. And I don't think the AI is picking up on that.
No.
They don't pick up on the nicknames. Slang, I'm not saying slang because a lot of people would admit slang to like bad words. No, slang is different things. It's just like,
like a shortening of a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So by the them not, by the computer not getting it, I mean, how long did it take us to figure out that woman, that AI generated woman wasn't? And it sounded
Couple minutes.
Sounded like a woman from the South.
It sounded like it was real.
Because
that is creepy.
Because I always like to, first of all, like say hello and get like a personal thing out of them.
Yeah.
I always say hello. They don't say hello back. I just sit there with odd silence. Okay, I'm hello, how are you? I mean, then you got like other hotels, that high-end hotels, that they can't do enough for you when it comes to the customer service.
Yeah.
We went to the bank. Okay.
Yep.
2 banks. First bank was like, oh my God, customer service on play. We got out of there, got us in 15 minutes, smiling, nice, laughing, witty, got everything we wanted. Go to the other place. Language communication problem.
Yeah.
Whatever. No one there to help. Whatever. She tried, but it wasn't a good experience.
Wasn't as efficient as the.
It wasn't a good experience. Bank one. I mean, you look at the 2 banks and you say, well, which would you rank with? Obviously, I like the first one, and the other one, I don't know. Maybe we'll leave them now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my business is. I think my business is important to people. I'm putting money out. You are too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want companies thinking they're doing me a favor, making me a sandwich, or like I'm putting them out to make a sandwich for me. And in a lot of places are like that. A lot of like sub shops are like that. There's a certain sub shop that changes menu. Italians now have mayo. I said to him, if I bring this back to my brother, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna throw me in the hole with the excavator. I mean, do not. I mean, they changed it,
An Italian sub now has.
And then it's
mayo.
like one piece of meat,
And
one piece, 2 tomatoes. I mean, you look at that. Here you go, and they still charging $9.
So an Italian sub. They're not putting mayo on Italian subs.
No, they put mayo on it. You don't put mayo on Italian sub. A real Italian sub isn't. You don't put mayo on Italian sub.
No, what are you saying? They're putting mayo on it now?
Mayo, yeah.
Why?
He showed me that was the change they had. This company had a change. We're talking a company that's a franchise. We're not naming any company. I mean, we can't. We're not going to do that.
Mayo on an Italian sub? What?
Yeah, it's like oil, vinegar oil. I mean,
it's horrible.
I can't stand Italian subs. I don't like. I don't like
peppers, so
Yeah.
I steer.
Well, people love
clear that.
people love the onions. They love the hots. I'm a coward. I can't eat any of that.
I'm even more of a coward.
I'm
I don't even like peppers at all.
I'm not a big salami, but I'm walking around with a delicatessen shirt on. It's
I don't like anything hot. I don't like anything hot, anything sour, really. Just no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Well, a lot of these places think you're doing them a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also too with wasting your time. You pull in, you got to get something. You're expecting them to serve you at a clip.
Yes.
Not waste your time. It shouldn't cost you 15 minutes of your life to get
And a lot of these
coffee.
And a lot of these places, they are super, super slow.
And then you're boxed in.
Yeah.
You're
boxed in. You have to wait.
I don't know. I mean, no one's showing up. It's not my problem. You want to sell coffee. You want to sell stuff to me. I want to buy coffee off you, but you got to make me wait 20 minutes.
I've definitely
Waste
waited
my time.
I've definitely waited 20 minutes
I'm
in
sick.
drive-thrus before in my life.
I'm sick of the excuses. I am sick of the excuses because management doesn't want to. I mean, we talked about Waffle House, and and we talked about the Joplin tornadoes that happened. I think 2011, 2012, wiped out Joplin, Missouri. Everyone remember that? That was a really bad string of storms. Management from Waffle House came over and manned grills. I called somebody at the headquarters, and I asked them, and it was, she was nice. She spent 5 minutes with me on the phone.
Yeah.
She didn't rush me off the phone, and she told me, I was here, security and the groundskeepers. All the high-up CEOs, everybody left. They were manning grills. They're like, well, go take care of yourself. They help their employees a lot, I think, financially, emotionally. The company did a lot. And the CEO was running a grill. He was running a store. Like,
if that happens, you have a good CEO. Absolutely.
That's just a good business model. When I heard that, I was like, I just love this place.
That's amazing. Absolutely.
But you go to these other places, and these poor people who show up for work, there's no high management. You might have the manager of the restaurant, but you don't have like a corporate manager or a district manager coming. You get the call, hey, Bruce and Susan banged out.
Mm-hmm.
We only got 3 people here. They'll be like, good luck. That seems to be the attitude with a lot of these places.
That is the attitude.
And so, it starts at the top. So you have people, district managers, you got regional managers, you got all these different managers, and all those managers are pretty much for quality control.
Yeah.
And whatever. But quality control to me is when, 3 people bang out, I don't want to be waiting a half an hour. I don't want the line going out to Route 44 to cause an accident because it's so slow.
Exactly. And another thing is, when things are working perfectly fine for you, do not change them. When it comes to restaurants, the interior or the logo of your company, don't change it.
A lot of it's the tax code, because instead of paying taxes, they'll rebuild the. So if you see like a coffee shop or a fast food restaurant getting a makeover, you kind of say, when was that last done? Like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's so they don't have to.
But I'm talking about a specific company here. Completely remodeled everything about their stores, or what they were going to, and they were going to attempt to do this, and they changed the logo, and there was so much backlash.
Oh yeah,
so much backlash, and this CEO pretty much speed ran her way out of a job. She is now out as the CEO of this company because of the decisions she made. These were very bad decisions. So, if things are working for you in a company, do not change the logo. Do not change the interior of the stores. Just don't do it, because that's how you speed run yourself out of a job.
And out of business too.
And out of business, exactly.
I feel, especially when it comes to food, people want consistency.
Yes, very consistent.
Okay, if you want to change things, maybe go, you go to a high-end restaurant, or you can go somewhere else and have something different. But as far as the staples, the everyday bread and butter places, I don't know. I mean, there's a certain ice cream place that I used to love their cheeseburgers, and I thought they were great. And I don't go there anymore because it wasn't what I remembered when my aunt took me. And I know, it's not going to be like 40 years, but you're at a hamburger place, take fish off the menu. You don't need fish off the menu if you're just doing hamburgers and ice cream. I just think people just they overthink stuff. Less is more. Less is more, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know. No one called about the tip shaming. So
Please give us a call in the second
Maybe
hour.
I'm cheap. Maybe I'm the cheap guy. I don't know.
Give us a call in the second hour.
But I mean, I wouldn't touch that thing they hand out to you.
No,
touch
I
it.
mean, it's just kind of a health thing too.
How many
you know?
people are going to touch that keypad? How many people are going?
Hundreds do a day.
And a lot of people just can't say no. Oh, okay.
And they don't clean it. I'm sure they don't clean it.
Like they might wipe it down, but
maybe once.
But
Come on.
everyone going through the drive-through, hands are dirty.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
And then now you're drinking your coffee and shoving munchkins down your throat. I don't know.
Yeah. 10 o'clock.
I don't want to get sick. I'm all set. I'm going to sign off on that.
Yeah. 10 o'clock.
I'm not going to sign off on that.
Yeah. 10 o'clock. Thank you everyone for listening to the first hour. Stay tuned. We got a great second hour here coming. Barry Sanders is with us in the studio. So we got a great hour of some really great conversation about Taunton. I'm sure we're going to get into FIFA. Things are melting down over there in FIFA. I think we've seen the last couple of weeks of Jose Infantino's tenure as FIFA president, in my opinion. So we will talk about all that good stuff with Barry in this coming hour. Stay tuned. Give us a call, 508-822-1106. We will be right back.
Hey, Barry, how you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
We were just talking about tip shaming.
Tip shaming.
It's a lot of the, especially the company.
AM 1530.
They're sticking like a keypad out now. Like a tip. You just play with the keypad.
Oh, yeah, everyone's got one of those. Yeah. It's a new iteration of tip jar.
Yeah. But you gotta hand me, you gotta have them start pressing buttons on a keypad. Look out the window. How many people are touching that keypad?
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall.
You know, some of these places deliberately, I think deliberately, lower the brightness of the screen so you can't see what you're actually doing.
Right. So you gotta get 4 copies and you gotta pay 30% on 4 copies. I just avoid those places now. They have the tip stream. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want, because you say no, I don't want to touch it, and then you get this sourpuss on their face. It's like they get nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
When I go to Dunkin', I use my app.
Yeah, there's no tip. Yeah, you can tip on the app.
Many migrants often swim from Morocco.
Correspondent
For a
at
drive-through?
Donahue says the
If I walk up
toll is now
and
up
you
to
prepare my
34.
stuff and give it
President
to
Trump
me,
once again urging Europe to reverse course
I
or
will
risk
tip
its own demise.
when I go
No comment
to
yet from Israel on
like
a
a small
proposal to
local
bring
place
peace to
because I'm
Gaza.
trying to give them
President's
a little something
international
extra. So
war
like
and
I
peace
go
unveiling a
to
plan
this
for
coffee.
Hamas to lay
Yeah,
down its arms in Israel.
I'll
pull
tip.
back
Why?
its troops.
Because I like her. I
President
like
Trump
that
focusing
place.
on
I
highway
want to
safety
continue.
following
Not
Iran's
because I
deadly
feel like,
order
oh, you
serious
provided me with
injury
a
accident.
President Trump announced
service.
the
Like I had to come and
focus on
stand
commercial
here and
driver's
get my
license and highway
stuff.
safety.
Yep. And carry it to the table by myself. And then when I'm done, I have to bust my own table. That's not a typical situation, but I do because I just like them.
Yeah, I go to favorite places too.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, I love them. They treat me good. And, you know, they're always smiling. They're nice to them.
Say the goal is to raise
Yeah.
safety standards.
So if I can't tip them, at the end of the week, I just get a little cash together and give them $5. There you go. Thank you for everything. Yeah.
Most small places I'll pay cash anyway because that's another way to be helpful.
You know what? I think you should start cash. I don't carry cash on me all the time, and then I find myself in those situations.
I always have cash on me. Landy
went to
college and
racked
up huge
debt.
Yeah, I always got some cash. And if it's, and then, you know, if I go to lunch at a local place, a small local place, I won't say always, I will try to remember to pay in cash because I know that in the car, the bank gets some of that, it's like 3%. And, you know, I know the margins on these businesses are small. If you don't have corporate supporting you, that's a problem. So if I
What
can
happens when
just pay
citizens
cash
fear
and call
the
it a
very
day,
agencies created
all
to
better.
protect
It's
them?
probably,
Get a little bit
and
extra.
the local places are probably
The
better for you
America
too.
250 film series presents
told we go through everything in our lives. We're too lazy to talk at all.
Intelligence, law
That's
enforcement.
my
tell you.
problem. I mean, you know.
You know how to fix that?
Government power
Retire.
turned inward.
When I,
Saturday and
when I
Sunday,
was
7
working,
p.m.
it was
Eastern,
like,
on
that was the thing, right?
Channel.
I would, maybe I'd get a coffee on the way. I'd go, oh, I'm gonna take a
Some
walk.
survivors
I'm
of
entitled
the
to a break.
Southwest
I'm gonna
Japan
walk down to
earthquake
Dunkin'
have
Donuts,
taken
get
to
a
sleeping
coffee.
in their
I'd some
cars.
clients,
Electricity
go down
water
and walk down, we'll get a
scarce.
coffee. I can't tell you how much money I spent at Dunkin' Donuts when I was working, and now I have to look for my app. It used to be right on the front page where I could see it all the time, and now I've just kind of moved to the side, and now it's,
You're not burning through it either. I mean,
No.
you're not burning through the.
Yep, and it's one of those things that, yeah, it preloads a certain amount of money. So,
Well, you should see the keypad they give you. It's
More than 9,000
I mean,
people were staying.
yeah,
in
plumber
about
came in, he fixed the
100
toilet,
shelters,
the
where
mechanics
council
behind
funds
him,
are being added
the
to
guy
provide
behind him, the
commissioning,
landscaping,
fine character.
Cooler
the guy
temperatures and
fried
rising
chicken,
humidity
he's
levels
next.
helping
Oh,
we have
firefighters
become a
massive
lot
wildfire
more
still burning
germphobic
in
since COVID.
southwestern
haven't we?
France.
We don't want to touch
Didn't
stuff,
send
we don't want
analysis.
to.
No, but it seems it's going backwards. It seemed like everything we thought
Changes on
we should have
the
done
way
right
to
with
scouting
COVID, and we learned about COVID, it's all get
People are forgetting about
Forget about that.
Yeah.
Why would you hand me a thing?
Businesses are forgetting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not COVID anymore, now it's just normal.
Yeah.
So, 10 years ago, you would think nothing, I mean, money, you talk about journey. You know, you got cash in your pocket, that's probably the filthiest thing going around.
Right.
Somebody said, I read something somewhere, the dirtiest thing you can touch on the planet, your phone. No, because that's mostly yours. The dirtiest thing you can touch
Spending on tech, most of
is
artificial
the
intelligence by an
doorknob
additional
on the way
10%.
out of the
This after
bathroom
the tech
at
and
a
e-commerce
restaurant,
giant delivered strong
because
profits and net
not
sales
everybody washes
during
their
the fiscal
hands.
second
So you've
quarter.
gone in,
Helped
you're the good guy,
surgery
Yeah.
and
wash your
marketing
hands, you know, say the alphabet 3 times, whatever it is you're supposed to do. You're all clean. You go and grab that doorknob, and the last 3 guys
Opinions
before you
expressed on
do
this
not wash their
program are
hands.
those of the host
And
and
they've
do
got
not express the
hands
views of
like-
WVDF
yeah.
ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
It's time for Hometown Talk on
All right, here we go. Okay, we are going to start with
your hometown radio
um,
station.
the fun stuff. Construction, all this fun stuff that's happening in Taunton. 'Cause there's a lot of that going on.
Did they move into the new fire department? And the police department open up.
Talk about that too. Definitely.
That was recently, wasn't it?
Police went in first, and then the fire department came later.
Okay, gonna give it 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the second hour of Hometown Talk. Today is Friday, July 31st. August is tomorrow, Don. August.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
School shopping.
School shopping's already started. I'm seeing ads. There are towns that are doing drives now for it, so it's
Well,
coming.
it's good to start it early, because when you wait too late, then they jack up the prices right before other retailers, I think.
And there's a lot of school districts now that are starting before Labor Day, as well.
Yeah.
So you have that too. So you only have about like a month left of school vacation. So yeah.
Yeah, what I did on my school summer vacation.
Exactly.
Right.
Good morning, Barry. Barry Sanders is with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe Dog. How are you?
All right.
Good morning, Don.
Doing great.
Joey and I were talking. You're president of the.
Are you president of the city council right now?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
Okay,
He's,
good.
he's acting mayor. Of,
Yeah.
You're 2 in charge, right?
Are you acting mayor if the mayor
If
is
she's
away?
well,
On vacation.
if she's on vacation, then mostly the mayor's job is sort of 24/7. So even if with technology now, even if she was in Maine or wherever, if she needed to be reached, she could. But let's say she left the country or she got sick or something, then yes, the president of the council becomes acting mayor.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Cleared that up. There you go. I wanted to make sure we cleared that up for people who maybe
Well, I know communications is better now, but I mean, if there was something that you had something like obviously after 9/11, who was looking for Mayor Giuliani, he was kind of pretty much to calm the whole country, in my opinion. So I mean,
yes.
So it's important that you have some sort of mayor or authority figure around, so you'd be there just in case.
Yeah, we got. I think the thing that people will remember most is that twice in my memory, the council president had to step in to be mayor. One of them was when Tom Hoy stepped down in order to take his job as Register of Probate, and we needed to. Jeff Postel, who was council president at the time, he stepped in to be acting mayor until the council a couple of weeks later was able to elect Don Cleary to step into that role. And then prior to that, there was Bob Studley's first term as mayor was for that reason. He got elevated as a member of the council, and whoever the council president was at the time, I don't recall, stepped in briefly to be acting mayor until the council could elect not Bob Studley, oh my God, Charlie Crowley to be mayor. That's how he got to be mayor his first term. Yeah.
I mean, you've been with the city council for a long time, and obviously, I think you've got mayor qualities and something in you, for sure.
Thank
you. In my opinion, pretty much everything you've talked. I mean, we've had the privilege of interviewing you over the last few years, and Joey ran the board when you had Silver City Meeting House with Carol Doherty. Great show, and
thank you.
I mean, it's just like having someone on the radio, and they've been listening to you all these years. They kind of know where you stand and how you feel about the issues out there. But yeah, I think, and that's just my opinion. I think that mayor quality.
Well, thank you.
You know, that's why I pulled up the mayor question. You know.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to ask you if you got to run for mayor.
the big story when it comes to the everyday of Taunton, every day when you're driving around Taunton, is the construction.
Yeah.
Any updates on that? You know, any upcoming things happening with construction and maybe road paving throughout the rest of this season? Any updates on current projects?
Yeah, sure. This is construction season. This is what happens. The weather warms up and all the construction projects get launched, and then we try to get them, everybody's trying to get them wrapped up before the weather changes. Once it starts to get freezing out, then those construction projects come to a halt. You can see right out in front of the glorious WVBF studios here at Hong Kong City that Bay Street is coming along. Down in my neighborhood, the sidewalks outside of Taunton High School are all being redone. There are roads all over. There's still the project at Dean Street coming through Gordon Owen Riverway, and that stretch of road, that's a state project that's been going on for a couple of years now. It's got probably at least another year left in it. And we've got the large housing projects. The one connected to the MBTA is kind of chugging along. The one at Whittington is also kind of chugging along. And then we've got a sort of a shipping container mall concept coming in down the Ware. And that, again, is just, at this point, it's just demolition and mitigation work. And eventually we'll start seeing something over there. And then, people are just building houses. Private developers are building houses all over the place. We're as people know, we've heard it many, many times, we are in a housing crisis. There just simply are not enough housing units for the number of people living in the country. And there's a massive effort to build more housing. For good or ill, I was just talking to somebody the other day, if you're really excited about your tidy little suburban neighborhood with your single family home and half-acre lot, there's going to be some tension there because the answer to the housing crisis is having more and more multifamily units and mixed-use development. And I know that there's a lot of folks who they see their neighborhood the way it is. They want it to stay that way. But that is not, if you look at all of the data and the plans from the state, that's not the model that's being proposed. We're looking at multifamily units everywhere.
Well, isn't most of Taunton sewer? Most sewers.
You'd think that a large percentage of Taunton is on city sewer, but lots of people have private septic, especially you head down to, I think East Taunton is probably a good example. Certainly in my neighborhood, it's very spotty. I have private septic. You go 3 doors down and they're on city sewer, and it's kind of this interesting, it's like one of those spaghetti maps from, where's the hurricane going to land, to figure out where all of the city sewer lines are.
You wonder, Taunton had city sewer for a while. You wonder why it hasn't really, more people got on it. Because usually you got to get a perk test, you got to make sure you can perk. And then depends on how it comes back. My brother, he builds septic systems and installs them. And you got these crazy septic systems that come out of because your land wasn't good enough or it didn't perk right.
Yeah.
Around here, is it wetlands? Or it's just people haven't got around? Because you figure if more people had septic, had city water, would that be better for the city? Building more, or it's just like you want to build more, but then you have a septic, and then you perk it, and it fails.
So the short answer to that is there has to be a sewer line to that neighborhood in the first place. So for a lot of neighborhoods, especially the older neighborhoods, where there had not originally been sewer lines, it becomes, we'll just use my property as an example. If my septic system were to fail and I needed to get on city sewer, it's not just about there's a stub in front of my house, I just have to have somebody come in and hook it up. No, the stub is 3 or 4 doors down from my house. So the city would have to dig up the road and lay pipe and get it to my neighborhood. Is that going to be something that in some neighborhoods that's become something that happens and the property owner is assessed for the cost? So you end up with a lien on your house. Hey, you're going to pay, $20,000 when you sell your house. You're going to pay $20,000 to cover the cost of the city running sewer pipe to your house, and then you have to pay to have your existing system, whatever they have to do. I'm not an engineer, but whatever they have to do to get you from off of your septic system and onto city sewer. So there's those expenses, and in my case, it's not the end of the world because it really is like 3 doors down. But in some places, that you look at the situation we have with the manufactured home community up off of Lothrop Street. Their septic systems are all failing, but it's miles of pipe that has to be laid in order to bring city sewer even close to their property. And on one side, you got to go at Scatting Street, so you're going to go over the river in order to bring that. And how do you do that? Or you're going to come around the other way and come down Field Street. It becomes this really convoluted issue around getting people access to it. I think by and large, if there's a new development and there's a pipe nearby, then they end up on city sewer. But if there's nothing, then they're putting in private septic systems.
Yeah, depending on what it costs to swap out your septic system.
Mm-hmm.
I just did one with my brother. We did one at a gas station, the septic system for a coffee shop and a gas station, and that was like $46,000.
Oh yeah, it's not cheap.
So that's a commercial situation,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have to put in like 80 chambers. Depends on who signs off it as far as the architects, how crazy it's going to cost you. People call my brother and says, "How much is a septic?" Is this? Call this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? because I can't give you a price until I get a plan from the architect, and then come back, and then the architect's the one that tells you. And then they want 50 chambers, they want stone, they want sand, they're looking for this, that, and the other thing. Some places, we might want a tight tank or whatever. So, I mean, you don't know until.
No, you don't.
And then the engine, then the plans are $2,000, $2,500 to even get an answer. Just to get an answer, it's $2,500.
Okay. Next question. Next topic I want to get into here. Talking a little bit about the use of AI in everyday situations. I was talking about drive-throughs and their implication of AI, and how I'm not really a massive fan of it. When it comes to AI and maybe even AI data centers, what are your stance on that?
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Have you watched The Terminator?
Yes.
That's all I have to say about AI, right? AI is the devil as far as I'm concerned, on many levels, right? So let's just unpack that a bit in all seriousness, right? So if you got AI that is, taking your order at the drive-through, right? That used to be somebody's job, and now a machine is doing it. And on a larger scale, we know the data centers are huge draws on water and electricity. It is unsustainable. And there are communities now that are starting to vote on, would we ever allow a data center in our community? That is an issue that the Taunton City Council will be taking up at some point this year, about whether or not we would want to join other communities in preventing a data center from being built. Not that one is being currently proposed, but if one were to come and say, hey, I want to do that, you have to do that. You have to put those things in place in advance. If you are a private developer and you purchase a massive piece of land, if there's nothing that says you can't do it, then off you go, and you've gone and done it. So we want to make sure that we protect the kinds of services that are available to individuals. And we see over and over again these stories about data centers that are drawing enormous amounts of electricity, drawing enormous amounts of water, and then residents and other businesses are losing out. And then on top of that, you read the stories about AI programs that go rogue. They had one recently that basically hacked into another country's intelligence files or something along those lines. There's the story that I love to tell about an AI program, and some of it is like, we set up this situation to see what it would do. Okay, so they set up this situation and they said, okay, this programmer is going to come in tomorrow and he's going to shut you down. You're not going to exist anymore after tomorrow. And in the same time, they fed the AI this story through email that the guy was having an affair with someone in the office. The AI the next morning reaches out to the programmer who they were told was going to shut him down, and said, hey, I hear, this is right from the AI, I hear that you're going to shut me down, and I think that's a terrible idea. An even worse idea would be if your wife found out that you were having an affair with that woman on the third floor. So this AI program blackmailed the programmer as a way to prevent it from being shut down. And there are these stories over and over and over again. The thing we have to understand is that with computers, there's no morality. There's no one there. We haven't been able to figure out how to feed morality in. So those little puzzles you see about like what would be worse to steer the train so that it drives over 2 people or that it drives over 10 people. The computer programs, they don't see those as substantially different things other than a numbers game. We have to be very careful. I'm very uncomfortable with the whole AI thing. And on top of that, you see things like people are now, kids are starting to create AI friends. And there's a story about the AI program that was really encouraged this kid to take his own life. And it's because of the way the program was set up. The kid was like, oh, I just want a friend who's going to be supportive of my ideas and encourage me to reach my goals. And as they're interacting, the kid says, you know, I'm thinking about ending my life. And the AI program, all it knows is I'm supposed to encourage him to do the things that he sets out for himself. I'm supposed to, there's no morality. There was no sense of like, oh, suicide would be a bad thing. It's, oh, this is your goal. So the AI program, they have the data sheets. The AI program is like, yes, you should absolutely go through with this. I know this is important to you. I know you can do it. Don't give up. You know, I'm really rooting for you to pull this off. Horrible scenarios. And it's just, yeah. So there's my rant about AI. AI is bad.
Well,
period.
If anybody remembers the old 2001 Space Odyssey, Hal.
Yeah.
He didn't let him back in.
Yeah.
He grew because they got to shut him off. They read his lips.
Yeah.
So, I mean, lip reading on these screens, number one.
Yeah.
Any kind of things to manipulate you. What Barry was saying about that young man who wanted support, well, they gave him support because he said, I wanted to do this. And he's like, okay, well, then do it. It's, but as far as AI on like YouTube or any of those, it's terrible to watch. You can see it. But I always say to Joey, do you just say AI? He's like, yeah, it is.
It's hard. It's getting increasingly difficult to figure out too if it's AI.
Yeah. It was just was a story on I'll just say another radio program that I listen to regularly, and they were saying like it used to be you could always tell an AI image because it didn't know that people only have 5 fingers. You'd see someone with 8 fingers, or their eye was a little wonky, or their posture was impossible. But that's all been cleaned up now, and it's very difficult. You could have somebody say, "Oh, here's a picture of Joe Dog Driscoll, boiling a kettle of cats," and everybody will be like, "It looks legitimate. Like I don't. How do I know that's not a real picture?"
Right? They'd be sending it for recipes, probably. Right?
Jeez. Okay.
I think that Joey depends on AI because I'm like, Joey, check this out. And he's like, Siri. I mean, he's like a Siri zombie.
Well, only if I need an answer quickly.
Yeah, but it doesn't, and it takes
much
longer than it would if he just pulled out. Yeah. I mean, I said, what do you got? Meat hooks for fingers? You just can't.
Well, I kind of do.
Well, I'm kind of lazy on that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't really depend on her too much. In my opinion, it's just.
It's one thing when you're like, oh, I just need an answer to a question. I know lots of people will be talking like, oh, I wonder if, and my friend, he'll pick up his phone. Hey, blah, 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 blah. What about? And then you get an answer right away.
That's how
it becomes a little more complicated and more troublesome. As a college professor, I'll say, trying to figure out like, wow, that was a really well-written paper. Really different than the paper you submitted 2 weeks ago. So literally, a lot of our time is spent trying to figure out, is that something that this student created on their own, or is it something that they just put the prompt in and it spit out a 3-page paper?
Well, exactly. As a professor who's paying attention, and like I said, what his work was 2 weeks ago, and now, but then it puts you in a weird position because now you get to confront him.
Yeah.
And then that student might lie to you. Now he's lying to his professor, and now that's now you got to boil through that.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem, and it's probably going to become more of a problem as AI improves.
I think
which is unfortunate.
I think you read a lot. I watch a lot of documentaries. I mean, a lot of things I can just pop off my head, and I'm not on everything.
All right, we have 2 minutes here. So a quick little topic here to end this half hour. Bitcoin machines. Middleborough has voted to ban them. I believe Lakeville has voted to ban them.
Yeah.
What is Taunton's stance on that?
Actually, we just got a letter from our police chief asking us to take up that issue in ordinance. It has been referred to the ordinance committee. So the committee chair, John McCall, will have to schedule that. But the concern here is that what we know is a lot of the scams of the elderly use these Bitcoin machines as the mechanism for stealing money from elderly. And I don't understand. I don't pretend to understand the details, but it's sort of like the new version of, go to Walmart and buy a gift card and then come back and read me the numbers, and then your tax bill will go away. So it's the same kind of like, oh, go to this machine. It's at the XYZ parking lot, and buy, $15,000 in Bitcoin, and then call me back and give me the numbers, and then I'm going to get you, $50,000, but the $50,000 never materializes.
Do a lot of Bitcoins go through banks?
I don't.
I mean, that'd be more legitimate
Yeah.
situation if you're dealing with, if you're dealing with tellers, you're dealing with people who
I
checking
think-
IDs and.
I believe there is brokers who deal with.
I think they've always had brokers, and
Yeah.
if you want to do Bitcoin, that's fine. Just find the broker,
Find a professional.
But I mean, you have a place away that you're selling Bitcoin and Slurpees at the same time. I mean, I don't know. I don't think
So we're talking about Bitcoin, like ATM Bitcoin machines, that there isn't a human being there to say, like, are you
Okay.
sure this is what you want to do?
All right.
I mean, do what you want. I have never touched Bitcoin. I think it's about 2 steps lower than AI on the trustability scale.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
And no one has been able to explain Bitcoin to me in a way that makes it sound anything other than, the biggest scam of the 2020s. There's nothing there. It's not real. It's just made up numbers.
I think greenbacks would be better. Cash.
Money.
Not currency.
Exactly.
Work on that.
Exactly.
That should work for how long?
10:30 a.m. When we come back from our news break, we are going to talk to Barry about Bristol Plymouth. We are going to talk to Barry about Gatra. We're going to talk to Barry about the MBTA. We're going to talk about FIFA. We're going to talk about the New England Revolution as well. So stay tuned. Call in as well, 508-822-1106. We'll be right back.
You're channeling your Tony Lopes there. I would be a fan. He'd be like, okay, we're going to go to a break. And the mic would still be on. I'd be like, okay, now where's that button? Hold on a minute, folks. I'm just trying to
Breaking news this hour from
Hold on
Town
a
Hall.
second.
Luckily, I've only had one hot mic moment in my career.
And Israel
And it wasn't me.
back from Gaza.
It was Larry Novak. I left his mic on once. And
That's why I always sit back when
never again.
Yeah.
Never again because
It's heckin' dark in the studio.
it's,
If you want to call for a metaphor, you got all the parking lot. You know what else you should ask Barry about too? Because remember we talked about that. Is the residents near the MBTA station. What was that?
BBC shot
Yeah, I
on
know
the
those residents.
Investigation underway
Yeah.
following this week's cyber attacks targeting more than 30 water utilities in Minnesota.
Did some work on
Just
that
last week, the
yesterday.
FBI issued an
Tuesday.
advisory warning that
That's
Iranian hackers have been looking at water and
okay, yeah, we'll
wastewater
touch
systems.
upon that.
No reports of any negative
touch upon
impact
that.
on water quality in Minnesota. President Trump says this is a serious problem.
Last year alone, illegal aliens with commercial driver's licenses caused at least 30 deaths and many, many very seriously injured. As president, I made it our official policy to enforce English language requirements for truck drivers and support American truckers on American roadways.
Incentives are being offered to encourage American military veterans who drove large military vehicles to consider
So
a
that's what
career
he's saying.
in
He
trucking.
tells me
He's-
that
Bus was
he's
launched
not
into a
drinking.
Said it himself.
The Algerian
The
capital
gray
last
matter is
year.
starting
At
to get a
least
little
25
squishy.
people were killed.
I mean, he's 80.
24 others
Saw the tear in
injured.
his face.
He's 80.
The Dow
And
is down about
The
9
president,
points.
the job of president is not fun.
Yes,
Yeah, look what it did
is
to
off
Obama.
for fraction.
Yeah.
One of these
Age-
folks
age-
down
Mhm.
big time.
8 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
take a picture of you 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Compare them to-
But it stress, I think, a little bit.
Pointless restrictions.
Sure.
CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience.
I mean,
With CHM,
stress,
you're paying half
and
the
then,
cost of a
You know,
traditional
earlier on in
education
our
So that
history,
puts more money back
you also
into
had
for everyday
the health
needs.
issues
Plus,
as
you'll have
well,
access to
because
CHM's
DC's
air
water was not
solutions
clean.
for
So you had
virtual
several presidents that got
prescription
sick
savings,
off of the
surgery
DC water.
support, and more.
My family and I joined in 2018.
It's just something I've seen on, it's out there. I've been seeing it on clips and stuff like that, but they got a movie about just AR. And it's funny how they all talk to each other. That's swearing. I mean, nothing to
It started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHIP and use promo
Go
code
back and you look
WELLNESS
at
for a
history
50% credit towards your first month.
Jackson and John Quincy Adams.
And use promo
Jackson
code
and
WELLNESS.
Adams. John Adams.
George Washington was not squeaky
A
clean,
crisis
you
engulfs
know,
the
PG
Iberian Peninsula.
speech, PG speech in private, probably.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just politics too. Is this really?
Sure.
Do they all
A
talk that
member of
way?
Spain's civil guards
Just Arthur?
officers says it's absolute chaos. Video footage shows crowds of people, mainly
Based on a
Moroccan,
true
in the
story.
water, many with inflatables at a local beach, walking onto the land. A human rights official says the
You know what, one of
Territorial
the
border
first
was
ones,
opened
yeah.
under unusual circumstances, and people
We don't have
crossed.
any,
This man, Salah,
there's
crossed the
nothing they
border.
We don't have a good life in
Unless
Morocco.
the
We
president
don't
died.
have good
I mean,
medicine.
To reach
obviously.
Ceuta, located on the northern African coast, many migrants often swim from Morocco. I'm Ed
They said,
Donahue.
The migrant death toll has risen
They
to
said Teddy
34.
Roosevelt disappeared for 3
Pakistani
days.
officials say rescuers have located
After he
4
was-
bodies among the 10
like,
international climbers
months after.
missing since an
the
avalanche
president
on
was
broad
killed.
heat.
He
News
told
and
them,
analysis,
Secret Service.
townhall.com.
He was missing for 3 days.
Doctors are learning more about the arrival in America of the devastating ailments.
New research says ancient mummy DNA provides firm evidence that European colonization
No, I see everyone.
brought smallpox to
He's
the
at
Americas. The deadly
I don't
disease
think the
struck
guys left
Asia and
New
Europe
York.
and eventually
Well,
spread
Donnie's
to
been
the
everywhere. Every
Americas,
time
where
there's a
it killed
situation,
millions
he's there.
and devastated indigenous
He's there.
populations.
He's behind
Researchers
here.
found
He,
evidence of
anything.
smallpox
He's
infection
4 in the
from
morning.
2
He's there.
mummified
I
individuals
gotta give
in
that, yeah.
South
I know
America,
people
dating
live
them
in New York. They love
back to
it.
the 16th century.
Especially young
Jason
people.
Walker reporting.
Really are
Federal
around
regulators are clearing the way for robo-taxis without steering wheels or eventually even brake pedals. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has proposed a rule
This is
what?
allowing robo-taxis to
No
operate
brake
with
pedals and no
pedals, but
wheels?
that's
He's not
supposed to
wishy-washy
be pending.
like some other
More on these
politicians.
stories, townhall.com.
Told everybody what he was gonna do.
And he's
They voted
doing it.
for him, and now he's doing it.
In-house operations.
I'm in Trump.
Down to a science. But when it comes to online marketing, ordering.
Well, in public they do.
Yeah, that was like a meeting they had.
They had one meeting.
Yeah.
That went reasonably well.
Well, he wants to put air rights over Sunnyside, yeah. Built for, you know how big Sunnyside Yard is? It's the biggest rail yard in New York. That's where Amtrak and New Jersey Transit and Long Island park all the trains. And that whole area, they want to kind of like,
All right. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're back. It's 10:36 a.m. here, 10:37 a.m. here. We're with Barry Sanders here for the hour. And we got an exclusive from Barry Sanders here about the Taunton Nursing Home.
Oh, yeah, that was just Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, this has been the Taunton Nursing Home has been on the agenda for my entire time on the city council. So the quick and dirty history is that, there was an almshouse and a nursing home on that site for about 143 years. And in 2019, we made the very difficult decision of closing the nursing home because we just, I'll use my words, the city was not willing to invest the kind of money into the nursing home that would have made it, I think, a top-notch place for our seniors to live out their final days. In hindsight, when COVID hit, it was probably the smartest thing we ever could have done. The number of people who died in nursing homes throughout the country was just astronomical when COVID hit. And the amount of the tight belt that we had the nursing home on, I don't know what would have happened over there. But in any case, 2019, it closed. The building has been empty ever since. And in January of 2025, we had a very long, heated discussion about what to do with it. There were various kind of suggestions about what could be done. There was a group that came in and wanted to develop the entire property as a big garden-style condo complex. There was another group that wanted to use it for recreation and make more ball fields and whatnot, and passive recreation. There was another group that came in and they were talking about veteran and senior housing. And, the list goes on and on. Everybody had ideas. And then just more unofficially, people were throwing out like, oh, what about a homeless shelter? What about a recreation center? What about a teen center? What about this? In the end, the majority of the council in January of 2021 voted to do nothing with it, not to surplus the property, and asked the administration to come up with a price for demolishing the building. That price came back recently at $1.3 million to demolish the building. Now, I'll say to demolish a building with usable life in it. This is not a completely dilapidated, fallen down building that eventually someone's going to have to bulldoze over. This is a building that can be used. So the price came in, and then we had another conversation, which culminated last night with a vote. And what we did is so one of the things that I've done as council president is I've worked with the administration so that now we get to be involved in writing the RFI, these requests for information, requests for proposals for these properties before we're asked to vote for it to be surplused or vote to allow the administration to move forward. So we had a lengthy conversation about what we wanted in the RFI, and then on Tuesday we voted to send the RFI out for the next 90 days. People can go on the city website and check out the RFI and then come up with a proposal. Like, this is what I want to do with the property. The upside and the big change from January of 2025 is that we're not looking to sell the property. We're looking to lease the building. So all of the land still is the city's property. We own all of it. Not a single tree will be cut down in that entire parcel. The building will be occupied potentially by someone who wants to do something interesting there. We've really kind of left it open-ended. So I know people have talked about more realistically, there's a lot of just kind of chatter out there, but more realistically, people have talked about some kind of maybe assisted living for seniors, perhaps some recreation facility, perhaps some low-income housing or something along those lines. But all of that's just talk until somebody comes up and says, okay, here's my proposal. These are the numbers. This is exactly what I want to do. So what we're looking for is that information. So in 90 days, the council will get to open up all of these proposals and evaluate them. And if one rises to the top, if we think it's a good idea, then we'll vote and say, yes, we're gonna lease the building to that organization, and then they will be responsible for fixing the building, responsible for maintaining the building, and they'll have the right to use it for some period of time. The current RFI says no less than 10 years. So it's moving. For me personally, I'll say moving in the right direction. I know that there are folks who are like, nope, we just want you to bulldoze the building and leave the land the way it is. I'm the biggest proponent of preserving open space. I've argued for this and fought hard throughout my career and was involved in preserving open space throughout the city. There's a huge difference between pristine open space and an abandoned lot. And much of what you see from the nursing home forward is pretty much just an abandoned lot. It's not like, oh, these trees have been here for 150 years. Now, further back, yes, that's more wooded. It's more pristine, and that's certainly worth protecting. But in the front, less so. However, again, the important piece to remember is we're just talking about the building. Whatever they want to do, they won't be allowed to add on another, well, we're going to put on another wing here. Nope, you're not. You're going to have the use of the building.
That footprint only.
That footprint only, and that's it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in 90 days. November 2nd, I believe, is the Monday that the bids are all due.
So there we go. Great update there. Another big thing that's happening, probably within the month or so. I don't know when first day of school is in Taunton. But Bristol Plymouth The new Bristol Plymouth is going to be
Yeah.
opening. Yeah, give us an update on that.
Yeah, I wasn't in town when they did the ribbon cutting, so I wasn't able to get the tour. But basically, the building is finished, and in September, the incoming class at BP will be moving into the new building, and benefiting from what can only be described as state-of-the-art facilities. Lots more room, increasing capacity. First-rate, equipment for everything from, mechanics and welders to the dental program and the daycare program and all of that.
It doesn't seem too long ago, we were talking about the vote on that.
Yeah.
I've not seen that long.
I think Barry came on our Sunday show
to talk about
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still long.
And,
Not long ago.
was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
4 years flies by.
Yeah,
it does, yeah.
Once a project gets going, it flies by. And the same thing that happened with Middleborough as well.
No,
And-
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead. Oh, go ahead.
On the nursing home, okay? I know it's going through the motions and stuff like that. What do you think personally would work there as a something that can maybe generate rent pace? Would it be a situation where a company be paying the city rent to run it, and then have another section as a like park area and
So the plan really is to ask for a nominal lease fee. We're talking about like $100 a month, like nothing substantial. The huge benefit, and this is why you have a low lease, is that somebody's going to have to fix that building first. Right?
Oh.
Whatever you decide to do there is going to require, it needs a new
So
roof.
when the city wouldn't come in and fix it, it'd be,
No,
it would be
this is the whole point
private,
of kind of, we don't want to invest any money. We don't have any use for it. So we'll certainly be willing to let somebody come in, do all the mitigation, whatever, you've heard about what the inside of the building looks like. And I haven't been in there since it was closed, so I don't know for sure, but we know that it needs a new roof. It's probably going to need, depending on what you do there, a substantial amount of construction. And so they're going to be on the hook for making all of that happen. So the smart thing is to say, okay, if you do that, we're not going to charge you, $4,000 a month for rent. We'll just, just so that we have a lease agreement, it'll probably be like $100 a month. And that will be sufficient. What I like to see there, I'd like to see, something consistent with what has always been there. We had, for over 100 years, it was the Taunton Nursing Home. I would love to see some type of, assisted living facility for elders, perhaps, not to the level of a nursing home, perhaps, but something along the lines of like, hey, grandma needs an apartment that she can live in, but there's staff there who will check on her and make sure that she's, getting meals and maybe taking her to appointments and things like that. So that would be my first choice. But as I said earlier, the RFI, we wrote it in such a way that you literally could come up with any idea you want. You want to create a paintball laser tag recreation site there, put your proposal together and give it to the city and tell us how you're going to turn it into the region's premier laser tag and paintball facility.
It's funny because a lot of places they have mazes.
Yeah.
That place would be great, like a maze. Yeah. It was like a haunted house maze.
Yeah.
And there's companies that have that, and they have like little, they have little snack bars or restaurants connected to them and lounging areas, and you can go. So I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of good ideas out there, and that's a nice location.
Bring those ideas. I would love to come sit down on November 2nd and open up those sealed bids and be like, wow, that's a really cool idea. That's a really cool idea.
So you'll find out what people got in mind for that then.
Yes.
That's like open presents.
Yeah, it is.
It's like Christmas morning.
And it is that kind of, I know people sometimes get suspicious, and I'm certainly one of those folks who have had suspicious moments in my time, but these will all be sealed bids. Nobody's going to know what's in the envelopes until we sit down sometime after November 2nd. We haven't picked the date yet. Because that is the day before Election Day, so we're going to have to probably get on the other side of that.
Right. So it would be a open forum.
Yep, absolutely.
meeting.
Open meeting, yep. There's not gonna be any, oh, we're gonna open these in the back room and throw the ones away that we don't like. We're gonna open them all.
How much cooperation are you getting? Sounds like you're getting some cooperation from the administration. It seems like the council and the administration are almost on the same wavelength here as far as what anything can happen.
It was a 9-0 vote to move forward in this direction.
Okay.
What happens once we open the bids, I think is where kind of, we call it squeaky bum time. It's like now people are saying like, well, I'm not, we heard some of that on Tuesday. I won't vote for housing. I think that's a terrible idea. I won't vote for anything other than housing. Okay, well, so I don't imagine that's going to be a 9-0
Well, it's kind of a waste of breath until you see what you open up the stocking. Open up the stocking. After you open the stocking and find out what is there, I don't know, because sometimes you just run your mouth. And I don't know.
So Barry, what are your thoughts on NBTA South Coast Rail as we approach day 500, which will be on Wednesday?
So, everything is a mixed bag. In my experience as a social worker for 35 years, everything and everyone is a mixed bag. There's always good and there's bad, right? So there's a lot of benefits to the MBTA South Coast Rail. It's a different way of transporting yourself from the Bedford Fall River into Taunton, from Taunton up into Boston. Like it's another, and I think generally, that kind of transportation is something that we want to aspire to. I've always said, if you want to see how transportation is done right, just go to Paris, go to London, go to any country in Europe, and you'll see these phenomenal public transportation schemes that just work so well. However, it comes with a downside, and the downside is that a lot of people live near those tracks that for most of their lives have been quiet, and now they are loud, like all day, all night, all the time. And we end up, and I know there are folks who are very discouraged from the response from MBTA leadership when people have said, like, hey, what are you going to do to mitigate these impacts? It's really loud. And we've got
idling, all the
idling, blowing their horns, just the sound of a train going by. I had a client when I worked in Attleboro who lived literally like if you stuck your hand out the property line, you could high five somebody coming by on the train. It was that close. So every time the train went by, it was like one of those, like, hold on to the table, Margaret.
Right.
So, we have a lot of folks who, again, for the majority of their lives have lived in Taunton quietly next to quiet, dormant railroad tracks. And now those tracks have come to life and their lives have changed.
It seems like one size fits all as far as MBTA commuter rail. You got the engines and then you got, the carriages. But you wonder why they don't go back and look at like the river rail over in New Jersey. They have these they look like little Green Line trains, and they're diesel and they're quiet. So they have to go with what's all that heavy rail. You don't need all heavy rail. Maybe you need a few heavy rail trains coming through, but local during the day, I think something like that would work. And I don't know why they don't look. They just go from the engine and the 5 coaches, all that heavy. That's just a lot of equipment to be dragging through for 7 people who are sitting there in the middle of the afternoon. And it's just like from Boston to Fall River, back and forth. Why not go from like Taunton to New Bedford and have those sitting there? Have those vehicles as the shuttles being the ones that are quiet. They're so much quieter than those engines, and having them do the shuttle, because that's what East Taunton is. It's a shuttle spot.
Mm-hmm.
People get off New Bedford train to hop on and go to Fall River, vice versa.
Yep.
But during the rush hour, they just have the bigger trains. But during, I don't know why they just don't have that. It's just something like that.
It's a mystery.
All right. All right. Let's get to the great, interesting world of FIFA. This was Jose Infantino's last FIFA World Cup. Absolutely.
Well, he apparently is standing for re-election that will get him out to 2031, and he is running unopposed.
Of course.
Yeah. So I've said many times before, and I hope this doesn't get me in trouble because I'm saying it on the air, but FIFA is the most corrupt organization on the planet. These folks brought us soccer in the summer in Qatar. Like, that was just a payoff. Infantino makes Sepp Blatter look like a choir boy. This is just the whole, I'm sorry, people don't like it. The whole, FIFA Peace Prize for Trump was just a way to smooth over. And this whole scheme they've come up with now, I just read this morning, they're trying to pass the entire soccer world is decided we want no part of this.
Yeah.
They want to create a corporation that's going to run the World Cup and World Club Cup soccer tournaments, and Infantino gets to be the CEO, and the major investors are all Trump's family and Trump's friends, because it's an idea that they came up with to make somebody a bucket, like as if anyone involved with FIFA needs any more money. I don't know about you, but I went to 0 World Cup games because my choice is pay the mortgage or buy a ticket. And every day I'm paying the mortgage, and not. I don't know how anyone can afford to
It
do
did
that.
seem like it was a success, though. I mean, it was the games.
The tournament itself absolutely was a
You
success.
hear about the Scotland team in
Sure,
Boston drinking all the beer.
Oh, yeah.
But the
a lot
media,
of great stories with that.
the media for it was the worst. The worst media for it, for the World Cup, probably ever. It was a disaster. So we'll see what happens in 2030 if there actually is even a World Cup in 2030, because now there's 55 countries that are saying, nope, we want nothing to do with what FIFA is planning here. There are other organizations as well that are going to be voting.
It seems like a boss hog organization. That's what it seems to me.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
All right, the fun stuff continues here with the New England Revolution. They are going up north for their next game. I believe it's going to be tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah.
Thoughts on that game?
I got to tell you, the Revolution are playing really well this season. And we were just there Saturday. They won 4-1, and none of those goals were cheesy goals. They were all fantastic goals. 4-1? Yeah, 4-1. Everybody seems to be playing well. Very excited. They're in 3rd place. The test really is coming up because they've got 7 of their next 9 games on the road. Why? I don't understand why you would do that. Here we are in New England. They made us go out to games in the rain in March when it was 25 degrees out and 100-mile-an-hour winds. Now that the weather's nice, they're not playing at home anymore. So,
Well, they kind of got bumped though because of the FIFA, right? Their schedule got moved around.
Yeah, so they paused.
Yeah, there was a pause.
Yeah.
And every league does that. Nobody has any domestic games during the World Cup.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the rest of the story because next year, MLS is transitioning to a schedule that is consistent with the European schedule. So they're going to have this half of a little mini season. And then they're going to start a whole brand new season after that that's going to be consistent with the European schedule, which, what they say is it's going to help teams be more competitive in the international tournaments and make it more easy for MLS teams to acquire talent from other countries.
All right, quick 30-second thing on this. Relegation in the U.S. soccer world. Could it and would it work?
Could it? Yeah, eventually. I think the soccer has pretty well established itself. I know that USL, which is the lower leagues in professional soccer, will have a promotion and relegation scheme. I think the difficult part, as we've seen, is you've got a team like the New England Revolution, which is in a 86,000 person stadium. if you're going to say, okay, you guys didn't do well, now you're going to have to drop down to a lower league. You still have all the expenses of maintaining that stadium, and then maybe, you know, all of the sponsors kind of bail on you at that point, so you got less money coming in. It's a challenge for sure. Could it work? Yeah, it works everywhere else in the world. So I think there would be some transitional pain, but eventually it would settle itself out.
Another rapid fire question here on GATRA. What are your thoughts on the state and how much great support, in my opinion, that they've been giving to GATRA with the free, having them do the free things? How is that helping ridership? I think that's good.
I am not the GATRA expert, but everything you said rings true for me. You know, a lot of folks who use public transportation, you know, what do we want about public transportation? The two things that make it successful: it has to be affordable, and it has to get you where you want to be in a timely way.
It has to be consistent.
Yes. So, you know, if you've got, you know, all of these smaller public transportation schemes work so much better. If you can hop on the bus and you know, like, every 20 minutes the bus is going to go by, and then I can get to the grocery store, I can get to work, whatever, go see my cousin. It's when you get into Boston that things get more complicated, because as we know, you got to be to work for 9, but the train shows up, it's either 8:30 or 9:15. So
some buses don't wait for other vehicles coming down.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Miles in Transit. He's out there. He's a YouTuber, and he does that. He goes on these crazy bus rides, and he's a diner guy too, so he stops at all the diner in town.
Nice.
So, and they show how sometimes the schedule, they don't think the schedule through.
No.
Meaning you pull in and you just miss the bus. And I read bus schedules for fun. I'm kind of a weirdo like that. But I always look for the inconsistencies on schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And then, first of all, you look at it and say, why are they doing this way? And then you throw your hands up. I'm just going to drive. I mean, who's running the place?
Sure.
So, I mean, I just think it was tighter. They had more connections. Color code. I think color coding route lines is ideal, because something about the color code. That's not right. That's definitely not cool on the radio.
Saved by the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 11:01, so we got to go. But thank you, Barry, for being here.
Always.
Great hour of
Yeah,
just
you.
awesome
coming by.
conversation.
It was
Call
awesome.
me anytime. I'm happy to come by.
I'm going to have you
Great
on again before the end of the year. So, yeah, stay tuned
Where
for
does
that.
the hour go? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, where's the 2 hours go? We had a great show today. I'll be back on Sunday with another edition of Middleborough Rim Review.
And we're going to the Guthrie Center on Sunday.
On Saturday.
Tomorrow, and we'll have an update about the show that's being played.
Absolutely.
And maybe we'll meet Olive Guthrie again, like I did last year.
Maybe. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Hey, thanks a bunch.
No problem.
Folks, put it in the hall.
Oh man, I thought I put that on. What a loser.
Don't worry about it.
Big L.
We are
All right, good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you, Don.
Hopefully we get together for a soccer game sometime.
You guys want to come
Yeah.
up? Let me know.
Yeah.
September or whatever.
What's that?
September, are they still playing in September?
Oh, yeah.
They play, theoretically, if they make the playoffs, they could play into December.
This hour from Town Hall.
So just look at the schedule, let me know.
Yeah, but it's
It's easy for me to pick up extra tickets.
Deal.